What's up? My name is Rich. Welcome back to another video. I got somebody special with me today, the homie Justin. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Justin Phillips, one of the co-founders of a brand called Support Black Colleges, and our mission is to uplift, inspire, and raise awareness for HBCUs and get our black kids back to our black schools.
All right, so I'm going to ask Justin a few questions, and we're going to tour the warehouse.
Let's do it.
All right, Support Black Colleges.
Yeah.
I see the brand, bro. So you want to tell me, like, what chose you to, head this direction? What made you feel like you needed to bring awareness?
Yeah, for sure. So I went to a HBCU called Howard University up in DC, and I was the first person in my family to go to college. So just that alone, the only reason I even chose to go to Howard was because I was getting my hair cut, right? And it wasn't even my actual barber, it was my replacement barber or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's cutting my hair and he's like, what school did you get accepted to? So I told him, Baylor, University of North Texas, Howard. And he was like, man, just go out of state and go get that experience. I didn't know what an HBCU was. I didn't know about fraternities, sororities, any of that stuff at all. But when I got up there, it changed my life. So it was just like, man, why don't people know about this? Why am I just now figuring out this? Why doesn't my mom know about this? So it was like, bro, we got to bring some awareness to this and, get our kids to come to these types of schools, because I had no clue at all. So that was kind of where it started.
That's where it started. So, and then you had to start on the brand. What made you feel like that was the right investment? I saw on Instagram, bro, you invested your last $10,000 into it, and you had like 2 cents.
Yeah, that's it. So it's funny because my business partner and his cousin actually started the brand together when we were all in school together. So initially I was just helping them out, made them an Instagram, a Twitter, things of that nature. They did it by themselves for like 4 years off and on. But then me and my partner Corey, we became good friends. We made some money together throwing parties in college and stuff like that. And then he was like, bro, let's bring this back. Let's revive it. Let's do it for real. I quit my job. I was working for 6 months. I quit. It just wasn't in my DNA to work for somebody. I had like $600-700 in passive income, like managing people's social media, and that's all I needed. It was just like, that's enough to pay rent, that's enough to eat, I'm cool, like let's do it. So I moved to Atlanta, and then I had $10,000 left from what I saved with my job. Corey was like, bro, I got $20,000 in inventory, you cut me a check of $10,000, we 50-50 partners, we ain't looking back from then on. And I sent him the $10,000, he didn't know that's all I had 2 pennies left in my bank account, didn't know how I was gonna eat that day, didn't know how I was gonna pay rent that month, nothing at all. But then we started working from then on, and that's the story from the beginning.
That's what's up, man. You make it sound easy and hard at the same time. I don't know which one it is.
Right.
But let's tour the warehouse some more, and then let's dive into it a little more.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so before we dig a little more into how you built the brand, what was the first product you launched?
Yeah, first products was kind of a little collection. Hoodies, t-shirts, bombers, stuff like that. So, but this is our classic hoodie, Chanel patch, adhesive backing, heat press it on, sew it down, ship it on out.
But what was the process like for you to figure out how to do it, like from scratch?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure at a certain point you was like, I don't know how to do it.
Right, yeah, for sure. We relied heavily on Corey's cousin in the start of the business at first, and then we started getting more into like cut and sew and reaching out to vendors that are overseas, and then even finding stateside vendors. So now we use Alpha Broder to find our t-shirts, hoodies, and then we just did some research, bro. AliExpress, Alibaba, found some Chanel patch guys, and then found cheaper people and just kept doing it that way. So then we got our price as low as possible, and that was pretty much it.
All right, so at what point did you feel like instead of producing it yourself, you needed to outsource it?
Yeah, because, bro, we realized that in entrepreneurship, you really got to play on your strengths. So we choose to hire out our weaknesses, and we felt like we're like really strong at marketing, really strong at branding, but production and keeping up with times and putting everybody, which just wasn't our thing. So, we ended up feeling like we were losing money by trying to have a production house. Why not just get a fixed cost, using a partner outside, and then just sell straight from there and focus on our strengths, which is marketing and shipping packages out.
All right, so what struggles did you have when it came to production or fulfilling or even, scaling the business, outsourcing, what's the biggest struggle?
Man, the struggles are just, you don't know what you don't know. So at the beginning, we were printing out labels on paper, taping them down to our packages and sending them all out. And that's how we were doing it. We just didn't have the brain capacity to figure out that you can use sticky labels. And then there's thermal printers that you can use. We just didn't know. So some of the struggles were that, just some of the things that you just don't know, because in entrepreneurship, every day is different and you just really don't know until you actually get into the mix. So it was more so of just not knowing certain things and then having to go out and do the research to even find it, but not knowing even what to look up either.
Right.
So yeah.
You don't have the questions for the answers yet.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's look a little more into the warehouse, and then we're gonna ask more about the brand. Let's find out some more about you, man.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we talked about struggles in fulfillment. We talked about struggles in getting the stuff produced. What about struggles with the brand? Was there ever a point, you know, you had your darkest hour, whatever it may be, you were just struggling to get it going?
Yeah, I mean, I think just in the beginning, like when I had first invested that $10,000, I literally had nothing, bro. Like, and a lot of people don't know, before I moved back from Houston to here, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 people. So we was splitting up the rent, so that was cool. $700, $150 or whatever a piece. Yeah. So I was like stacking up, but that was just probably the darkest spot, like especially just trying to figure out how to get started or what to do. But I think that, yeah, around then, just living with 4 or 5 people, like not having the best mindset, just needing to get out of there, then immediately moving to Atlanta. And then my apartment, I was subleasing it when I moved. The first month when I moved, right after I invested that $10,000, I didn't have money to pay my rent, and then the person that was subleasing my apartment didn't pay. So I had 2 rents and no money. So at that point, it was just like I had to just get down and just figure it out, and I was just in the darkest place. But that's when I started meditating, reading, those types of things, getting really into that, and that's when things started to change, really. So
well, it worked out.
It worked out. Look, we're here now.
Yeah. But man, so at what point did you feel like it worked out? At what point, like, did you have a celebrity wear it?
Yeah.
Where was the success? At what point?
I think there was like 2 points. One was when I first learned paid ads, and I just procrastinated on it for so long. And then something told me, bro, if you don't just launch your campaign today, you're never gonna do it. Then I launched it $50 a day when I first started, and then that next day had a 4.5 ROAS. So I was like, okay, like that's a cool little win, this works. Then like a month or 2 down the line, Chris Paul wore something, Eva Marcel, a couple bigger celebrities, and then you start to see like $20,000, $30,000 in a day, and I was like, oh yeah, this is serious, like this is for real. And then that's when I felt like, you know, things started moving.
All right, so a lot of people always ask me though, like, what's the typical ad spend? What should people expect, like on a cost for purchase? Where should somebody start with Facebook ads? Because anytime we get into this conversation, people are like,
right. Yeah, so when I first started, I just spent $5 on 10 different ad sets, $50 a day. That's where I started. So whenever people ask me for a solid number, that's what I always say. But the true answer in my perspective is you should just invest whatever you're willing to completely lose. And you know, that just goes with anything. Like if you're holding on to that money and you can't do without it, don't put that in ads. It's just not a good idea. So, but just to start out, I started with $50 a day. So that's how I'd answer.
So, congrats on the success, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Congrats. So what's next for the brand? What's next for you?
Yeah, so now we're moving over into scaling up, obviously. We're working with a lot of cool people. A lot of big box retailers have been reaching out. So looking into getting to a bunch of stores. We got 4 or 5 like really big players looking to get us in. And then me and Corey are both moving into the digital side too, because we realized that so many people see what we're doing and they like it, but they want to know how to do it themselves as well. So I just put out an ebook, Corey put out an ebook a few days ago, and I put one out last month, packaging up all of our knowledge from 0 to 6 and 7-figure months that we're having now. Everything from top to bottom, all of our vendors, all of our freelancers, the people that run our ads, our SE, like literally everything, we put it all in there. So we're moving into the digital space. But as far as the brand, we're looking for the long term. So like we thinking like 5, 10, 15 years. So we're trying to become like the next like Black Nike type of thing. That's where we're looking, you know, doing everything black from start to finish. You're talking about like, because even now you might be black owned, but the garments aren't coming from like, you know, black places like that. So we're trying to do everything from start to finish, all touching black hands, and that's our goal for the long term. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so that's it with Justin, man. I appreciate you for your time. Support black colleges, man. So if you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
There it is.